Hello everybody, it's Dio from Firm But Fair Gaming bringing you another video. Enjoying all the videos and content we produce, don't forget to click on that subscribe button, click on that like button, and don't be afraid to share. Don't forget to click on the notification button, customize it however you want, but that way you're notified whenever we publish another video. Welcome everybody to another WoW Shadowlands 9.2 video. So today we are going to look at our little buddy here, Pocopoc, or Pocopoc, whatever. His name would be, so I'm just going to call him Pock. So of course he has his little cipher console here where you got some research. This was my second time through, which is why I don't have as much research points or as much unlocked. The first time you go through, you'll end up with a lot of ciphers of the first ones, which will give you the ability to already have some of this stuff unlocked from just unlocking it the first time, and you'll probably already be able to research the Aelic understanding as well as a few other things. But when you come through on an alt, you get access to Pock right away, and then of course you get access to this, but you don't really have anything, so you have to go find some treasures and get some ciphers of the first one to unlock his Metro understanding, and then if you do the Casual understanding, it opens up the quest line, or I guess the puzzles, if you will, for from Firam here. So this is where, of course, you have your little puzzle game. There's three different ones, and they get more and more difficult as you go along. The first one is quite simple. The second one, not so much, and the third one is actually quite challenging. So we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what you want to do in each of those games. So for the very first one, we are going to go here, and it's how to decode a Canataric protolock. And you can excuse my pronunciation if I butcher any of those. I do apologize. So basically, the way the first game works is you get 6 tries, and you're trying to, as they say, light up the entire thing. But really, we want to make everything dark is what we're after. So when you click one of these buttons, it's just basically, it's going to just flip the colors that are there. So as we go here, so there's our second guess and our third guess. And so as you can see, it's just rotating all the colors or flipping them, if you will. So you're just trying to make the whole thing black. So just, you gotta look at the diagram or the squares as you see, figure out where in 6 moves you can possibly win by making them all turn dark. So by there, we were able to flip everything to get the full lines, and then we can easily just click, and this is going to remove them all. And it's just that simple. So that's all we want to do, is turn it all black, and that's how you complete the first one. Is just take a moment, look at it, figure out which squares you need to transfer in order to maximize your guesses, as you only get the 6. There's some that can't be completed in 6, or at least I was having trouble. So you can just new game it to get to one that you can easily accomplish in 6 moves. So now that we've completed the first puzzle, we are going to get the quest for the Mezzonic protolock. So let's go here. We're going to jump in here. And here we go. So this one is the same thing. We want to get everything dark, but we are not limited on the number of guesses. And so the way this works is when you pick a square, it's going to do kind of like a cross and rotate the colors or flip them, if you will. And so we just have to keep that in mind and utilize the cross. So, and when we go off to the side, it can only do, it still wants to do the cross, but we're only impacting the side here. So if we want to, so here, this one is down here. If we flip these, they're going to turn to the wrong color. But again, at least it gets rid of that. And now we're able to modify over here. So what we could do here, again, because we got to keep in mind that it's just the cross. Like, so for example, there's all the colors that we don't want. We're just going to turn that back. And then up here, we could just play around and see. So like if we do this, obviously that would be nice, except for we are still left with those colors, and we can make that work. But it might be easier to do something like this, where we're just going to get rid of that. Actually, maybe that's not going to make it easier now that I'm looking at it. But then we can do this to turn it back. Then we're going to turn this. And then that is, we're going to get this on this one when we do this, as the cross finishes it for us. And that's all you want to do is you get that cross formation. You kind of want to, I thought it was best to work from the inside to the outside, because once we get to the borders, we're able to easily kind of just chip away at it and remove the squares as necessary. But that's basically all you want to do is you just want to flip them. We got the cross, and that's how it works. So for this puzzle, what we were looking to do is we wanted to try to see what patterns existed. So what jumped out right away was that there are the 3 square boxes. So therefore we have the one pattern of the 3 square boxes. And then on the inside, we all have triangles. And so that also works as a combination. And then also that it goes 1, 2, 3. So that is going to help us eliminate the first pattern that we see there. And as we're also looking around, we can see that there's a lot of 3 rings around, like 3 borders around some of the shapes, and they're also different shapes. So here we have a circle inside the pentagon, and then we have the squares with the square, and then we have a circle and a triangle. So that works out that way. So there's our second set that we can identify. And then also we see we have 2 circles in the pentagon, sorry. And then we have the one with the 2 borders. So that's different and different shapes, different border number and number. And then lastly, we have the 3, I'm going to say they look like computers inside the circles, and that's all different. So if we go through here, we're going to be able to just go through. So the first pattern is we want to do the square boxes. So we have the 1 in the middle. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that gives us our first that we identified. And then we're going to go through here, and now we have the multi-box here. So we got our 3s with our singles. So I got rid of that. And then lastly, we have the only remaining 3, and that is actually how we solve the puzzle. So it actually went a lot quicker than what I normally have. Sometimes that takes a lot longer. That one was actually the most simple diagram that I encountered. Some of the other ones weren't that intuitive. That's basically all we want to do is we want to spend a few moments looking at it to figure out what patterns exist, and then that's going to make it a lot easier. Getting the first one down is pretty simple. So what you can do is if you get the first 3 but are kind of confused as to the next set of pattern, you could always press the new game button that it has there, and it would reset the board to give you, and you keep the same game that you had. So you would obviously know your first guess, and it would just give you a little bit more time if you're a little bit confused or worried that you messed up for your second or third guess. So, yep, so that's basically how the puzzle is. So that is basically what you need to do. So that's how all 3 puzzles work. The first one, of course, we have 6 guesses to flip it from colored to black. The next one, we have unlimited guesses to change the whole thing to black. And of course, we got the cross formation. We want to move from the inside outward. At least that strategy worked best for me. And then the last one was a little bit more challenging, but we were looking for the 3 sets of patterns that existed. And if you are having trouble, there is a add-on that'll help. I actually don't have the add-on yet, but I might go check it out. So there is an add-on, and it is called the Zereth Mortis Puzzle Solver. So if you're having trouble with that, you can always check out and grab that add-on, and I've heard it makes life a lot easier. But if you're like me and you like a little bit of challenge, then go ahead and spend the time and solve the puzzles, and of course you can play it after the fact as well. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please let us know below. We'll be happy to answer any of those and help you out if we can. And as always, we also appreciate likes, shares, and subscribes, so please hit those buttons. We appreciate it. And until next time, we hope you're enjoying WoW Shadowlands 9.2, and stay tuned for more videos.